Welcome back to Echo Base Network, guys. I'm Nick, joined here by my brother, Stone Cold Loki from Loki's Mornings of Mischief and EBN Cast every Friday at 2 o'clock Central Time, and Loki's show every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock Central Time. We're going to be talking a little Alien Romulus. Loki, how you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. Wasn't doing too good after I saw this, but I'm doing good now.
Yeah, it's we're not going to get into, our review talk and stuff. If you guys want to see kind of our spoiler slash non-spoiler discussion this past Friday, EBN Cast, me, Culture Casino, Mr. H Reviews, Robert Meyer Burnett, great conversation. Culture and Mr. H both really enjoyed the film. I was kind of mid on it. Robert Meyer Burnett almost walked out of the theater watching it. He hated it. But from everything I'm seeing online, it's about 80%. It seems like around 80% of people seem to enjoy it, and about 20% didn't. But I don't know. It was just like there was a lot of stuff in there. I was just head scratching, but I don't know.
It's very mid. It was very mid to me anyway. It was a very mid-level movie. Part of the problem is the copy and pasting from other Alien movies.
Yeah, it's almost like a Alien's greatest hits, almost. But with that said, the movie actually did pretty well at the box office. 41 million plus domestic and 108 million worldwide opening weekend. So this article comes to us from Deadline. It's the second best for the franchise. Let's see here. So much of the doldrums of August between Alien Romulus and the near 100 million grossing Sony Wayfarer Studios movie, It Ends With Us, it's clear we've shaken off all the strike jitters. Disney continues to keep the shine on its 20th Century Studios brand with their own fingerprints on storied franchises, as I guess that meant such as Alien Romulus settles with 41.5 million, the second highest opening ever in the 45-year-old franchise and the highest opening ever for genre maester Fede Alvarez and star Kaylee Spaney. Global start is way above what we originally spotted, 75 million with 108.2, but domestic is exactly where we called it. So I'm not going to read the whole article, guys, but it did 108 million, which was actually more than I thought it would do worldwide. I was thinking like maybe around 80 worldwide opening weekend. So, for opening weekend for this film, I thought it did pretty good. Thoughts, Loki?
Monetarily, it did pretty good. I know that all those Alien popcorn buckets and cups flew off the shelves before the movie
Yeah.
even came out. People wanted the merchandise. People were excited to see an Alien movie in theaters again. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I liked the first half of the movie. I just thought the second half completely fell off its rocker and took a header deep diving into an empty pool.
Yeah, I was not a fan of what the direction I went at the end of the movie either. Coach went and saw it. He gave it, I think he was like right around a six and a half, something like that. So he was right around where I'm at, which is like 6.5, 7.
Yeah,
Is
I gave it right around a 6.
Yeah. So yeah, for new Alien film that was originally set to be a Hulu exclusive, and then they decided to release it in theaters. This is pretty good for the Alien franchise, and because of this, and the budget on this thing was well, after the tax rebates that they're going to get on it, it's going to be under 50 million, I believe, on the
Yep.
total budget of this thing. So this movie is definitely looking like it's going to make money for 20th Century Fox Studios.
And you can tell there are aspects of this movie that you can tell were made for something like a streaming service.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The movie looks good. The
Yeah.
cinematography is absolutely excellent, The
Yeah.
practical effects mixed with some of the CGI they did
The
looks
miniatures.
really good. They you can tell they worked really hard on the set design, what they were trying to do. A lot of the problems have to do with the writing and the
Yeah.
script and what they put into that. And that's something I think hardcore Alien fans that have been with the franchise forever notice. Some people were like, "Oh, that's a really cool callback," while other people are saying, "You just copy and pasted this scene from this Alien movie. You copy and pasted this ending from this Alien movie," and we feel kind of like, "Well, why did you make this if you were just gonna copy stuff that you've already done?" It's seen as a new little soft reboot. You can tell it's kind of a reboot from the ending, the way they copied the ending from another Alien movie. I'm almost word for word they copied that ending from another Alien movie. So while some people are like, "Man, that was sick," and yeah, there's some gruesome
Oh
stuff that
yeah.
happens
Yeah.
in this movie,
Yeah.
and I'm completely okay with that. I think, like I said, the first half was great. It's when you get into the end of the movie and start seeing things, you're like, "But you guys did this already. Why didn't? Can you not write the other half of the movie? Did you just pick the pieces from these other Alien movies?" I think that's where the problem is. But money wise, they've done great. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I could tell that they seem to put a lot of love into the movie, and even though I didn't really enjoy it as much as other people did, I definitely give them an A for effort. This was not, littered with a lot of woke DEI nonsense, garbage crap. It just, for me, it just really came down to the direction that they took the ending of the film, the third act, into some of the dialogue, some of the acting. But I will say that the synthetic
Andy,
droid
Andy.
Andy, yeah, I thought he gave the best performance
Yep.
out of any of them, especially when he gets reprogrammed, um, you know, towards the middle of the movie. I thought his acting was superb in this.
Yep. He basically goes from a kind of a dumbed down android that makes horrible puns to a very intelligent character that is
Yeah,
very well spoken, and they did it. He did an absolutely excellent job at that. I thought Rain could have been played by almost anyone today. I mean,
yeah.
besides certain people that none of us like, take your pick. But as a young actress, she did an acceptable job. I
Mhm.
just think that Andy, the guy who played Andy, completely stole the spotlight from her.
Yeah, Andy and Rain, those were the two main characters who I obviously I just forgot Andy's name, but when I left the theater, I remembered their names. All the other characters, when I left the theater, I couldn't have told you any of their names.
And
Uh,
then that's part of the problem. What's I asked this question. I've asked this question for the past couple of days. What's the name of the first person that got chest bursted in Alien? What was the name of the guy? Kane. Everybody knows
yeah,
who Kane is.
yeah.
No, Kane died. Um, what's the name of the girl that gets chest bursted in this movie?
I know it starts with an N, and I didn't even know her name towards right before she basically got killed.
I think
Uh,
it's Navarro, but I'm not
Yeah, I
100%
think you're
sure.
right. I think you're right. I think that is it. Because I was sitting there the whole time and they were talking, and I was like, "Is that another planet? What's Navarro?" And then later on, they say it again, and I was like, "Oh, it's that person." So it was small stuff like that in the movie that I thought they could have done better. But with the box office numbers the way they are, now Fede Alvarez is talking about doing another Alien versus Predator movie. Thoughts on that?
None of the ABP movies have done well.
No, no,
Maybe give him a chance as long as we don't do any more of this cutting and pasting from other movies. I liked the cinema. I really loved the cinematography in this movie.
yeah,
That
it was
is its
great.
highest point, was the cinematography. The problem is they took too much from other movies and directly quoting from previous movies.
Yeah.
Those aren't Easter eggs. Those aren't, oh, member berries. That's just, well, we took this ending and we put it over here in our movie. Please don't do that anymore, man.
Yeah, it
This
should
was
let it
good
stand on
except for
its
that.
own.
Yes, it needs to stand on its own. I think that's the people's biggest problem with this movie is the third act and what they do, and the fact that it almost copy and pastes the third act from another Alien movie, and the ending is a direct cut and paste from another movie. So please don't do that anymore. Come up with your own stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll hear some of the criticism, and if he does do another Alien movie or another AVP movie, that he kind of takes some of that criticism and makes some changes and does some things differently moving forward.
We got an Alien movie that's not on Earth. Unfortunately, the FX series is going to be like on a Earth planet.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. Hopefully, the ABP movie is in space on the planet it's supposed to be on with the characters that are supposed to be there, because that original comic book story is the best
great.
ABP story they've ever made. And
Yeah.
they've got future sequel possibilities that connect directly to the first ABP if they do something like this and if they make something like this. I really hope they stick to comic book lore, to the original comic book. It's a great story. It's been long enough that no one would really, besides hardcore old school fans of ABP, notice. And you stick with that and you tell that story and then tell the sequel, because there are sequels in the books, in the comics, in literature. Keep doing movies like that, and I think that would be great.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Well, guys, let us know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Have you seen the movie? Did you like it? What do you think about him doing an AVP movie? And where do you guys see this thing topping out when it gets out of theaters? Which I didn't even ask you that question, Loki. Where do you see this thing ending up by the end of its run in the theaters?
I'm guessing 250 million, and for a 50 million budget movie, that's great.
Yeah. I was right around I was in between like 220, 260 is what I was thinking. Because the word of mouth on it is other than me and Loki, there's a lot of people out there that really enjoyed it. And even though I didn't really care for it that much, there's stuff about it I liked. I do recommend people going and checking it out. I think it's worth people going and watching and then judging it for yourselves, because I think this is definitely one of those movies where it's definitely going to hit people differently.
Agreed. I absolutely agree with that. I know a couple of people, oh, thanks for saving me the money. And I'm like, no, go see it. Go see it. I just had a problem with the third act. I thought it went right off a cliff in the third act because they took so much from other movies, and it just felt like I've seen this before. Why are you putting this in here when we've all seen this before? And that the last minute of the movie just they were trying very hard to make her Ripley, and she's not Ripley. She needs to stand on her own and be her own character.
Yeah. But our good friends, Mr. H Reviews and Culture Casino, they had no issues with it. So that's why we say go out, judge it for yourself. I always like to, if I'm on the fence about seeing a movie, I'm always going and watching several different people whose opinions I trust. And if it's collective, like it's trash, don't waste your money, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to see it. But if it's like a mixed divide like this movie seems to be, I'll definitely go check it out and judge it for myself. All right, guys. Well, like I said, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. As for us here, me, Loki, as we always say here, we are your Echo Base Network. If you guys aren't subbed to Loki's Mornings of Mischief, it will be linked in the description below. Go check him out. Join him for his morning show Monday through Friday. Do you got anything else you want to add or promote, Loki?
You are Echo Base Network, and we're out.
Absolutely. All right, guys. See you on the next one.